Scott Walker is the governor of Wisconsin. He's in a tough race right now. But look, if there's one thing you got to know about Scott Walker is that he's a man of principle and he is pro-life. Has been pro-life his whole life. He's pro-life today. In fact, he's going to tell you that in a second. But let's run through his record here. Talking Points memo laid it out in case you're not clear on this. They say he proposed cuts to Badger Care, the health care insurance program for low-income Wisconsinites, defunding Well Women programs which provide free preventative health care screenings to women, limiting birth control access to teens, signing anti-abortion legislation that was so restrictive that it ended all medication abortions in the state before a court overturned it, and later attempted to close nearly every abortion clinic. So he has a record against abortion clinics. He's clearly pro-life in that case. He also has a record against birth control in that so many of the Planned Parents have been closed down, even if they did not provide abortions, right? And that's not an accident. That was part of the laws that were passed at the urging of Scott Walker, and he signed those laws into effect, saying, yeah, go ahead and close those down. In fact, a group that is, every pro-life group up until now had given him a 100% rating in the state, including the most extreme pro-life group that said that they're against all sorts of access to birth control, I should say. And they said Scott Walker gets a 100% rating, okay? So, and you know, you got clinics that also deal with other portions of women's health. He's been against all of those. And look, in case you were clear, he just did an ad. Let me show you the beginning of that ad.
Hi, I'm Scott Walker. I'm pro-life.
All right, there you go. He's pro-life, no question. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Talking Points Amendment once again explains Walker and his Democratic challenger, Mary Burke, continue to be tied in the polls. And when it comes to women voters, Burke is leading him by a whopping 14 points. Uh-oh. Now, he's getting hurt by some ads that are being run against him, let alone the fact that people are just simply finding out his record, and apparently women don't like his record. So now let me show you a tough ad that's been running against him from Emily's List. Now this is not from his opponent, it's from a different group that is a pro-choice group that cares about women's rights. Okay, here's the ad they're running.
I don't like anybody getting between me and my patients, so I was outraged when I found out Scott Walker quietly signed a law trying to restrict doctors from performing abortions. Scott Walker wants to make all abortions illegal, even in cases of rape and incest. Look, this is one of the toughest decisions a woman has to make. It's not up to politicians like Scott Walker. Scott Walker needs to get out of my patients' private lives, out of my examining room, and just leave women alone.
Damn. Now, if Scott Walker was a principled man, he would say, well, as you saw in the beginning there, I'm pro-life, damn it. So I am trying to stop all abortions, okay? And so if that means closing down clinics, I'm going to close down clinics. If that means getting between you and your doctor, well, that's what I want to do. I want to make sure he can't give you an abortion, right? Well, so let's find out how principled Scott Walker is, because now I'm going to show you the whole ad that he's running.
Hi, I'm Scott Walker. I'm pro-life. But there's no doubt in my mind the decision of whether or not to end a pregnancy is an agonizing one. That's why I support legislation to increase safety and to provide more information for a woman considering her options. The bill leaves the final decision to a woman and her doctor. Now, reasonable people can disagree on this issue. Our priority is to protect the health and safety of all Wisconsin citizens.
I love that. All of a sudden, backpedal. I don't want to get between a woman and a doctor. I mean, technically, if you're pro-life, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to get between a woman and her doctor and say, you are not allowed to perform this medical procedure. It is illegal. I will put you in jail for it. I don't care if the woman wants it. I'm not going to let her have it. By the way, in case of rape and incest, also his position is, sorry, okay? As the Emily's List commercial pointed out, according to some of the laws that he's passed, even in those cases, and that he has been in favor of, I'm getting between you and your doctor. I don't care what you want. I'm not letting you have it. Now, there he didn't say he was in favor of it. He just said the law that was eventually passed, against my wishes, allows you to continue to have nominal ability to have your doctor and yourself decide, even though I would love to end it, okay? He says, oh, I was just trying to give people more information and make sure that it's safe. Really? You're for safe abortions? No, you're not. So that was a Weasley lawyerly ad where he tries to pretend that basically, for the people who aren't paying really, really close attention, that he's pro-choice and pro-life. I'm pro-life, but I look at all these wonderful things I'm saying about pro-choice and how I don't want to get in between you and your doctor. Liar! Liar. That's what he is, okay? So he's intentionally setting out to deceive you, and if I was in Wisconsin, I wouldn't let him get away with it. But it is also interesting to note that he must feel panicked that he has a very good chance of losing the election, because this guy had planned to run for president in 2016. Oh, the pro-life people ain't gonna like that ad. Okay, and when they run that in the primaries against him, if he's running for president, that's not gonna play well, and he knows it. But he did the ad anyway. That means he's not worried about 2016, he's worried about right now, because it looks like he's got a real shot at losing. That's why all of a sudden, he cares so much about women's rights and how they can confer with their doctors to get whatever procedure they need, except the one I'm trying to outlaw. Frauds, man. By the way, that's what they buy with their money, okay? They buy ads like this to try to deceive you. That's what all the money in politics is for. You run that ad 1,000,000 times and hope to overwhelm and flood out the other side's point of view, hope to trick people into thinking that you are reasonable and care about women's rights when in fact you don't, and your record indicates you don't.